Welcome back, you guys, to episode 15 of PostCombatMTG, and today we're going to talk about our favorite color, just in general.
Not best color.
Yeah, no. This
favorite
isn't
color.
Best. Like, this is just favorite color to play, and this is specifically Commander. Because if we're talking about Modern or Standard or, like, Pauper,
completely different.
Yeah, I'm going to have a completely different answer. So, how do you want to do this? Do you want to go first?
I will first say that I'll start off by saying my favorite color.
Okay.
My favorite color is red, which I know I'd say up until last year, was considered the worst color.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden everyone was like, well, no, I guess not everyone, but Wizards put a lot of support into red and did a lot of things that let red be playable.
Yeah.
And I also am a fan of peculiar game plans, I guess. Like, I don't like outright ramp, slam, crater, hoof, swing type strategies as much. But red has, I think, so many versatile options for what you can do with it. That's why it's my favorite color. And I know people use it as a splash color quite a bit for like big combo finishes with like Comet Storm or Fireballs or whatever. But I have 2 now mono red decks, and I'm building a third.
Yeah.
Because that's how much
It's exciting.
I love mono red.
Well, I'm kind of the same way. Like, I'm a huge fan of red, and Jordan even said he was surprised when I said my favorite color wasn't red.
Yeah, I was expecting me to have to pick another color that wasn't red, but
because when we were talking about this, I was like, hey, you can have red, because I know you probably think I want it, but no, yeah, I have a different color. We won't spoil it yet, but I am biased because I watched a lot of Jimmy on Command Zone and Game Nights, and he's like the king of red decks in Commander.
He's so good.
Before I watched their game nights, I kind of thought red was terrible. And everyone does. A lot of people still do.
It's a stigma in Commander.
Yeah.
It's a weird stigma where people think red can't win and red can't live the long game or anything like that.
But I watched Jimmy just stomp with these crazy decks with these he uses a lot of niche cards, cards you didn't even know exist in red.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, when they think of red, they think of
Lightning Bolt.
Yeah, Lightning Bolt. They think of Comet Storm, X spells and goblins. But there's so much more to red that's like chaos.
Oh, it's insane. Yeah, there's so much good stuff.
There's a lot of interaction too with red that I like.
There's a lot of cool interaction. There's just a lot of cool mechanics. There's a lot of cool It does everything well except for destroying shamans.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not true. It doesn't do everything well, but it does the things I want to do well. And that's all that matters.
Every color has its weakness, which is the whole point of the color pie.
Yeah.
But I think red, some people see red's weaknesses are more weak than the rest of them, which I can somewhat see with, because red has less ramp. But I think red has, there's more tricks you can, pull out of your sleeve with it.
Yeah. We rely so heavily on artifact ramp. We have to use Wayfair, and it's barely even ramp sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes just getting lands. Wayfair's Bauble, obviously Soul Ring, Mind Stone, Thran Dynamo. All those are very, very big mono red staples. Only for the fact that you have to get your mana up some way or one way or another, I guess. And that's the thing, is because a lot of red cards in formats like Standard and Modern are very cheap.
Yep.
Lightning Bolt's 1 mana, Lightning Strike's 2 mana.
Yeah, it's typically a fast card.
Yeah, it's very fast. So when you start playing decks that have, these... I guess in Commander you need a big beater, a big finisher, or something to finish off well.
Commander's like a marathon, not a sprint.
So you have to really have a way out at the end of the game, and unfortunately, in a modern format where you get to another 3 and bolt them, that's a win.
Yeah.
Here, that's rare. That's rare that would ever be a situation. So you have to find a way to get to these 5, 6, 7 drop red creatures. Yeah. Because there's some really cool ones that do really neat things.
Atali is a good example. Atali's amazing.
Atali is the one card I forgot to order with my new deck, and I was so mad it got here. I'm like, I don't want an Atali.
Atali's great. It's just running her as a commander. It's just, she dies once. It's impossible to recast without
and wasting. I've seen it. Riley plays Atali, and I saw him recast her a second time. But after that, it was. Yeah. It's really it's tough.
But that's why a lot of people splash red, because you can run green, ramp out, and then play a bunch of big beefy red.
That's why Gruul's the best color combination of all time.
No.
It's up there. It's up
well, that's our next episode. Jordan and I will fight to the death.
About Gruul. No, but red...
Demir, by the way. the best.
Dimir is real good. If you're talking unbiased, Dimir's the best.
I don't know.
If we're talking
I even think
completely
Azorius is up there.
It's okay. It's just it got boring. It got boring for me. But I guess let's finish off talking about a whole segment of red, and then we'll go to yours.
Yeah.
Just because we're already on the train.
Well, we can talk about other stuff too, other colors.
So I want to talk about some of the. I said earlier about how versatile the red is in comparison to some other colors. Because I feel like, and again, I could be wrong. This could be like a biased opinion, but black is just like dump stuff in the graveyard, get stuff back, like value, tutor. You know, blue is just draw cards, stop you from. And there's always exceptions to these. There's Yeah.
Well,
other cards.
I think blue specifically is like a lot of people love it because it's so good. But when you play blue or playing against someone who's playing blue, it's very like you know what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
They're gonna draw cards and cast instants.
Yeah.
And like that's it.
It's a big thing, and then they usually slap out. There's a couple of those big beaters at the end. You can.
There's like a few
pop
big
out.
creatures, but there's not a lot of creature heavy blue decks.
No.
So it's usually.
I mean, I have one. I mean, my Mistform Alchemist deck, which is all creatures, but it's very specific.
Yeah, it's a very niche.
You couldn't do that with another commander. What he does. But red. So let's just go back to the top decks of. I guess the top red decks on EDH deck. So number one is Krenko, which I do not completely agree with him being really good.
Jordan doesn't like Krenko.
I play him in my 99, but I don't love him in the command zone. He's a little too straight to the point for me. But yeah, Krenko, 4 mana, 3/3, tap him. You put X 1/1 goblin creature tokens on the battlefield for X number of creatures you control. So every turn, you're essentially doubling your goblins. And goblins are so easy to make. There are so many cards that make goblins that you're already going to have goblins by the time he comes out. So you let him survive one turn on the table, you just flop out a bunch of goblins, and odds are you have a way to give everything haste.
Yeah.
So he's very, very powerful, very aggro. I think he's the closest you're going to get to a, like, aggro. Maybe him and Neheb, or like the two, like, very aggressive, like, closest to what you've seen in other format.
Yeah.
Make a bunch of stuff, swing a bunch of
other ones, but yeah, you're right.
And then there's Duretti, who is my all-time favorite commander, and he's cool because he's all artifacts. He's red, but he plays very little red. I guess not very little, but I think he plays more colorless spells than red spells.
Yeah.
But the red spells he does play are really cool.
Yeah, I think the only reason he's red is his like draw ability.
Yeah.
Because like that's sort of what red does for their card draw.
Yeah, it's only flavor on there for red would be the.
But like if that wasn't
card.
on there, he would definitely be like a colorless, like a Karn or something like that.
Then the other thing is red has really good interaction with artifacts, so I also get why they made him red. Like Horde Smelter Dragon and Hellkite Ignite are like really good big finishers in that deck. Perforos is one of the most busted ones. You get him out, it's just...
I'm not a huge fan of Perforos just because I don't like the way he plays, but he's still like a really good example of a powerful red.
Yeah, I like Perforos in the 99.
Yeah.
Better than... Yeah, but Perforos, whenever a creature enters, you deal 2 damage to each opponent, and in red it's so easy to accomplish, because, again, you imagine Perforos and Krenko out, make 8 goblins, everyone takes 16 off of a tap. You tap Krenko, and everyone takes 16. Yeah. That's disgusting.
And then next turn, if you want, you can swing them, so...
Yeah. It's absolutely nuts. And then this one I think is actually one of the coolest ones. I built it. I'm gonna say coolest because I think its game plan's cool. I didn't love playing it a lot. I actually gave it to someone else, and it's Zada. Zada, I think, is one of the most interesting legendary creatures. So he says, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets Zada only, copy that spell for each creature you control that spell could target, and then each copy targets a different one of those creatures.
Yeah.
So you make a bunch of goblins, or you make a bunch of, tokens of some nature, and then you start buffing Zada. You just go, I'm going to put, like, what's a red? I don't know. There's that one that's, like, gives creature +2/+2, and, there's the cat. And then +2/+0 and draw a card. So you target, let's say you have 8 goblins out. You target Zada, he gets +2/+0, and you draw a card. Then you do that 8 more times for each creature. So now you have a bunch of 3/1 goblins that drew you a bunch of cards, and then you can it almost plays like Storm. You start storming out a little bit.
Yeah, that's why I love red. Like the interactions are insane with some of the cards.
Yeah, it's absolutely nuts, and I love that how much. Looking at this now, how all of these could be in the same deck together. You could just make a mono red legendaries deck, and it would be nuts.
Oh yeah.
Neheb's just straight burn, mostly. You do a bunch of damage, and then you make a bunch of mana to do more damage.
Yeah.
And then...
Neheb's usually pretty straightforward.
Felden's Recursion, which is really cool also. Norin's ETB Chaos.
Yeah. There's a lot of ways you could build Norin.
Oh, yeah. But then there's stuff...
another one with interaction.
And then you play stuff... There's stuff like Zozu, the Punisher. Whenever someone plays a land, deal 2 damage, you can just play land destruction. Atali, we already mentioned, is really cool. Kiki Jiki is combo central. Like
Red just loves to be mean.
It loves to be mean, and it loves to... but it does it in so many ways that I'm just like... Because like green's mean, but green's just slam you with Trampler's mean.
Yeah.
And then we got Bosch, who just slings artifacts. You sack artifacts to do damage. That's really... I just think every one of these has such a different way out, and I absolutely think it's the coolest color to look into.
Red's definitely my number 2. But, should we use this to talk about mine?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so my color is now what... Like a year ago, as Jordan said, if you asked most Commander players, they would say red is the worst color. I think now white has taken over for that. Red's probably the 4th and white's the 5th now.
Yeah, most definitely.
But white is my favorite color, and I know I'm gonna get shit for it. But my love for white isn't about the Commanders. It's about just like the flavor of white and the things white cards do.
Yeah.
Like if white had ramp, I'd be playing mono white way more than mono red.
I mean, you got Smothering Tide now.
I mean, that's true.
Which is proven to be broken, but
that and land tax are still like, even if you have those 2 out, you're still behind. You still have to like wait.
9 times out of 10, you're...
I don't know. I think even red just is a little bit better with ramp, and that has more card draw too.
Yeah, I mean, white, you're still stuck in the Soul Ring, Mind Stone.
Yeah, exactly.
Situation.
White, you have card draw, but it's more of like attacks. Because like white likes to do that, where like you have to rely on someone else to not pay mana or to have a creature or attack you to like draw a card. But one thing I do like about white is the the mechanics it has.
Yeah.
So like white cards, they have vigilance, they have lifelink, they have flying. Arguably, those 3 are like some of the most powerful mechanics that you could have on a creature.
Yeah, you're pretty much missing trample when it comes to
trample.
But then the flying half the time.
Maybe hexproof, but white does that too.
White does that, but yeah.
White
trample and you're missing, but if you're flying, you don't really need it all that much.
But like lifelink is such a huge thing in white that like it's insane. White also has a lot of synergy. Like a lot of their creatures, they're like humans, knights, stuff like that.
Yeah. But
they usually all interact with each other. They're also soldiers, angels, and they usually all like token strategies. Obviously, you get a bunch out and they all make each other bigger. Another thing I like about white is all the wraths they have.
I'm looking at it now. There's just so many board clear like effects.
When you think of control, you think of blue, but like if you really look into control, white has arguably more targeted removal.
It might not stop you from playing it out of your hand, but it will stop. It does stop it once it's out.
Yeah, like wraths.
Pass swords.
Yeah, I just saw something. You scroll past. Oh, I don't know. They have Wrath of God. They have enchantment removal. What I was gonna say is like cards. Darksteel Mutation.
Oh yeah.
Like
really
it's
cool
still It's not really targeted removal because it's still on the board, but it basically shuts down any creature.
And half the time they're not gonna get rid of it.
Yeah, or like O-Ring, Oblivion Ring.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of just kind of takes something off the board for a little bit. And
Fiend Hunter does the exact same thing.
Yeah, exactly. All these white cards that just like let you manipulate the board and still help you out without like damaging you too much. Though the only weakness I think with white is the ramp.
Yeah.
Because like if you just give more ramp to white, I don't think it has another weakness.
Like scrolling through this list, like White of the Night Orchid is the only thing you can even consider ramp. When Knight of the White Orchid enters the battlefield, if an opponent controls more lands than you, you may search your land for a plains and put that on the battlefield. Which is great, don't get me wrong, but...
Yeah, and like card draw like Mentor the Meek, like very few specific things.
Yeah, it's very... That's definitely the niche of white, is drawing cards. But when it doesn't draw cards, it makes up for other really, really cool things, in my opinion. I don't hate white by any means, other people do, but...
But Jordan also just scrolled past like Teferi's Protection. White loves to do like huge wipe effects where they protect themselves.
Yeah, if you don't tell me that's not the best card printed ever for Commander.
And I think there's another one, Heroic Intervention, that's prevent all combat damage until end of turn. That's also Kamigawa, I think.
Heroic Intervention was that green one.
Oh, there's a mono.
There is a mono white.
That it does the same thing as Teferi's Protection, but it's combat damage. But I just forgot the name of it.
I know. And I'll tell you what, dude, they have the only instant speed board clear in the game without...
Which one?
Route.
Oh.
You can pay 7 mana to do instant speed board clear.
Yeah, and even if you don't have the instant speed one, they have like 40 sorcery board clears. There's so many white ones. Like, if you can't afford a Wrath of God, there's so many. Fumigate, I don't even know. There's ones that cost more that are just like the same thing, destroy all creatures.
Auspear's Command does a lot of...
Yeah, that's destroy enchantment artifacts.
Just you can choose to destroy all artifacts, destroy all enchantments, destroy all creatures with converted mana cost 3 or less, or 4 or greater.
Yeah.
And I will tell you the other thing I love about white, just like scrolling through this list, is the amount of things you can do. Also, like with red, you can do a bunch of different, like tactics with it. Like Cathar's Crusade, whenever a creature enters, each creature gets a +1/+1 counter.
Yeah.
How easy it is to make little 1/1 knights and to start making them huge.
Yeah, 3/3/4/4s instantly.
Right off the rip when they come in.
And they do a lot of things like that where they interact with each other, but if you splash white, they have so many cards that interact with other card types. Like, for an example, Odric.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Like, all your creatures get First Strike, Flying, Death Touch, Double Strike, Haste, Hexproof, Indestructible, Menace, Reach, Skulk, Trample, Vigilance. You put that in any deck with a creature, it's going to help. Yeah. White's also just a really good support color.
It's... Because I run it in my Alatia deck. I originally built it as Aristocrat, so it was primarily red-black with a splash of white. I revamped the whole thing, and now it's primarily white. Yeah. Because it's all... Because it's more stacksy. But because I play... I found if you're trying to go the route that I was going, white was...
Yeah.
The best for what I was trying to do.
We've said this multiple times, but we're not making the argument that these are the best colors. These are just our favorite. So do you want to kind of just wrap this up and talk about our least favorite?
Yeah, and mine's really unpopular. Actually, it's really funny. Me and Caitlin had this conversation yesterday.
Oh, really?
Because I was telling her about... I was like, would it be dumb if I made another mono red deck? She's like, it's not dumb if you enjoy it, so like, whatever. And we led on to this conversation of our least favorite colors to play, and mine, honestly, strange enough, is black.
That was mine.
Is yours too? Yeah. I don't love black.
Oh. Which is surprising to me because Jordan has the most black decks, I feel. Or maybe not anymore, but you did.
I used to.
Yeah, the most black decks out of anyone in our play group.
I have Splash Black in Alatia and Splash Black in Windgrace.
Yeah.
And
that's also because you were huge with Dredge. So like
I was really big on it. And don't get me wrong, I don't like... There are some black cards that
There's exceptions.
Oh, there's some crazy... Like, Razaketh's busted good.
Torment of Hellfire? That's my favorite card.
I still play that all the time.
I've won like 6 games with that.
Torment wins in our play group more than any other card. Yeah. But no, black to me is so... It's boring to me. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying it's not good, because it's probably the best color, probably, with like blue.
Yeah,
like we just said,
around, well-rounded.
Yeah, it has tutors, it has removal, it has...
And all the weaknesses it has, it usually makes up for it in some other way.
Yeah. My problem that I have with black is for someone who loves graveyard, I love graveyard decks, but it's so specifically creature graveyard. Yeah. And I find the interaction that I feel like I'm limited interaction-wise with cool ETB triggers, because I love just recurring my graveyard over and over and over again. And in black, I miss a lot of that. Because again, with white, the reason I run black and white in Alatia is because I want to bring them back to the graveyard with the black abilities to bring back Karmic Guides and Revel Arcs and things that keep my engine going with the graveyard. And white does that better.
Exactly, yeah. Well, with enchantments at least.
Yeah, and so it's... I just every time I play a mono black deck or a deck that's primarily black, I'm just bored with it. I'm just like, put stuff in my graveyard. And it just seems like every time I watch anyone play, it's like Cabal Coffers, Urborg, tap them, make a bunch of mana, torment. Which, don't get me wrong, I love that method.
Just do it again.
But they just do that. It's just so repetitive. I just don't.
Yeah, well, the reason I don't like black is kind of similar, but it has less to do with just it being boring and more to do with me being like, a cheap person, I guess you could
and
say.
it's way too expensive to build black.
Well, no, that.
Oh.
Like, price-wise, but also, like, I get nervous playing black that I'm going to, like, sack something and not get the full value for it and then not be able to bring it back. So then I'm usually hesitant and I'm, like, a worse black player when it comes to that.
Oh, okay. So you're just afraid, like, I'm not going to get this back.
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't want to cast this sack outlet to sack my creature that I just cast last turn in case someone destroys it and then I can't do anything with it. And then I just wasted all this stuff. When it comes to other colors, when you cast stuff, you usually get an instant result.
Yeah.
Like, when you cast something, you're going to get that creature that turn. Or you're not going to have to wait a turn to do something.
I'm looking at the top mono black commanders on EDH Rec. I don't want to play a single one of these.
No. I'm surprised those are the top ones. I feel like the top one would be, like, Skitherix or...
Yeah, Skitherix is like number 10.
I know.
Which I thought he'd be higher.
Oh, yeah.
The
like Micaeus.
The only one that I built it on online. I played it on X-Mage a bunch, and I enjoyed it. I think I would do it if I can do it on a very strict budget, but again, black is way too expensive.
Yeah, it is.
Was Gath Lord of Vaults. You can pay X black, put target artifact or creature card with converted mana cost X from any graveyard, or from an opponent's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control, then they mill X.
Oh, okay.
So then you keep feeding their graveyard to play there. So it's almost like a theft deck.
That's interesting though for black. You would think that's sort of like a Demir ability.
Yeah, and so that's why I like that one. But then the rest of them is just like, Gonti's cool. I mean, I love him as a splash deck. Like Erebos, I don't get why you play him as a commander. Sidisi's a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
Yeheni's fine, but I feel like he's better in the 99. It's just I don't like black.
Yeah. Well, we agree on that. I like it as a splash.
Oh, me too. Love it as a splash. Never
monocolor or even. Well, I would say 2, but I have a Xancha deck I'm building, so I'm biased with that. But
because if you look at the Demir commanders, they're way better.
Well, and usually when you pair red and black together to make Rakdos, there's usually a very specific like way you build that.
Yeah.
So like it's not as much of the mono black cards that you would use, but
no, probably none of them.
No, yeah.
Majority of them.
It's like mostly red and then Rakdos.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's talk about our favorite thing of the week. Do you have one?
I do.
we didn't talk about this beforehand, so I don't know what.
Oh yeah, mine is pretty simple and obvious if you know me as a person, but
I'm nervous.
I had my first niece this week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my brother had.
She's more famous than all of us.
She is more. She got
Did you see the tweet
1,000 likes on Twitter.
It's still going too.
Yeah, my brother had a baby on. Not my brother had a baby. My brother and my sister-in-law had a baby on. It was the 20th, so it was Tuesday, I think.
Yeah, 4 days ago.
Yeah, and she is amazing. Her name's Georgia.
She's super cute.
She's adorable. Her name's Georgia. She looks just like her mom, like freakishly like her mother.
It's like weird because you don't think babies like they have a baby face, but she looks identical.
I walked out of the hospital. I was like,
you're like, are you sure it doesn't hurt?
It's actually really funny. Like the only quick side note. I mean, it's pretty simple. She's a baby. She doesn't do much. We walked in the hospital. I saw her and I was like, holy crap! Like she looks just like you. And my sister-in-law, very pretty girl. But her one thing, it doesn't bother me at all, but it bothers her crazy, and she has a bump on her nose.
Oh, okay.
Like a little bump, like where the bone of her nose is, and she hates it. And I think it looks fine. She rocks it. And the baby has it too.
Oh, really?
And I was like, she looks just like you. She's like, yeah, I feel like shit. I have to get her a nose job now. And I was like,
rhinoplasty at age 6 months.
She's like, I'm gonna go get my nose done, and I'm gonna see if I can get a 2-for-1 deal. I'm like, but no, she's gorgeous and amazing, and she came out healthy. So and no, I'm already in like full uncle mode. Yeah. Like I went and saw her yesterday.
Buy her a bunch of stuff.
I drove an hour to go see her yesterday just to hang out with her.
You better buy her a Magic deck like soon.
I already told. I was like, call my brother because. I was like, yeah, when she's like 6, 7, 8, like you can bring her over for a week and we'll watch her and you guys can go like on a cruise or do what you guys do.
And
he was like, I don't want her like around all that nerd shit. And I was like, too bad.
Yeah, sucks. Because your whole family is nerds. So.
Every one of us.
My favorite thing of the week is actually a song.
Ooh.
And it's alternative. It's by this artist named K-Flay. I don't know if you.
No.
I don't know much about this artist. Like I literally just found this song.
K-Flay.
The song's called Bad Vibes, but I don't know. I think it's one girl, just like a person. I don't think it's like a group.
Yeah, it looks like it's just one person.
She's like alternative. It's kind of like an anti-pop, like
okay,
electronica.
I do love me some anti-pop.
And like the lyrics are good. The song's just about like someone in her life that she doesn't like anymore.
Yeah.
And like it's just a really good song. Like when you're in a good mood and you just want to like. I don't know, roll all the windows down and like blast it.
Good.
I love it.
Summers.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
Is she a rapper?
She might be. I don't know. Is that what it's saying?
Well, this is one that says K-Flay rapping at Stanford University in 2007.
Maybe she has some
Or just
rapping
some
music.
rap
I don't
stuff?
know. I haven't looked into like her artistry at all. Like I just found this song like 3 days ago, and I've been listening to it nonstop.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
I love anti-pop.
I'm pretty sure it's just a single, but she's working on a new EP. I'm pretty sure on her Apple Music. So keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
And let us know what you guys think, what your favorite color is, and anything else you want to see.
We might talk about color combinations next week.
Oh yeah.
Because now that I'm into it, I'm like, now we really need the best color pairs.
Best and worst color pairs next week. You heard it here first. All right. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
Bye.